Oh my gosh. Chris Cuomo says reform won't happen until police kill white people's kids. You heard that right, guys. Chris Cuomo says reform won't happen until police kill white people's kids. What's up, guys? This is the Gospel According to Mark with a C. He is I, and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. Thank you for joining me once again, my friends. It brings me no pleasure to have to keep reporting dumbass stories like this, but in this time that we're in, we have to expose stuff like this because it's all across our pop culture, our news media, you name it. It's saturating all of it. And that's the reason why you got to talk about it, because it's actually getting into people's psyche and into their brain. When you make a statement like that, guys, reform won't happen. Things won't get better. Keep in mind, this is a very emotional time for everybody. You know, we're involved with the whole George Floyd trial. You know, we have a couple of new shootings that happened, workplace violence issues, not to mention the pandemic. Like, people's sensibilities are on edge. So, of course, you would get somebody like a Chris Cuomo who is got a show on one of the biggest news media outlets in the world, who can be this irresponsible to put energy like that out into the world. Of course you would have something like that. It just goes to show you where the problem is with us and the media. You know what I mean? When you have something like that, how irresponsible could you be? Now, let's get into what Chris Cuomo had to say. All right, now I saw this on Newsweek.com, okay? So I'm going to scroll down here, and I'm actually going to share what this man said. Now, of course, you know, he's playing up to the stress that people are under, the anxiety. So he starts off by saying, "How many more," Cuomo asked, "die of the pandemic, dying from police shootings? George Floyd, Dante Wright. I wonder if you'll remember their names 6 months from now, because they'll all be replaced by so many others." Cuomo mockingly referenced reactions to police shootings that focused on criticism of the victims. Why do that? Because you want to make the problem them, he said. Take the onus off the idea that you're wrong about policing needing to change. Forget that police are trained to deal with non-compliance with force that is not legal. Hey, comply or die, Cuomo said sarcastically. Listen, dude, let me ask you something, Cuomo. Have you ever been on the front lines? Have you ever had to deal with a life or death decision within seconds? Now, I understand I sound like some other people. I'm not justifying police shootings. I am not. But all I'm saying is that it's easy to be sarcastic and be all like frivolous about this whole thing when you've never once in your life had to protect somebody else that way. It was never your job, Chris Cuomo. It was never my job. That's the reason why I don't take it lightly. You know what I mean? I can't judge. You have, and I've said this a million times, you have to judge each case individually. You know what I mean? You just can't make all of these blanket statements this way. It's irresponsible. Okay, so you want to paint the picture that black people are just being shot down and there's some type of war going on, and of course people are all emotional about it, so you got everyone all anxious. You know, every time I watch my black child walk out of the door, I don't know what's going to happen. Now look, I'm the father of a black son. You know what I mean? I've been somebody's black son. I am, my mom worries about me to this day. But my thing is, I've said it a million times, I come from a law enforcement family. We all learned that the first line of defense that you have when you walk out the door is remaining lawful, doing the right thing, all right? Being that way, being conscious about the decisions that you make all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? So, the overall idea that CNN, through Chris Cuomo, what they want to put out there is that black people are being slaughtered, right? And he goes on to say, because I don't want to skip ahead, he says, and you know what the answer is. You really do. You don't like it. I don't like it. It scares me, he said. Shootings, gun laws, access to weapons. Oh, I know they'll change. Your kids start getting killed. White people's kids start getting killed. So in other words, what he's saying is that no one's going to care, really, to make some type of change about people dying in police custody or being shot by police. No one's going to care until you start seeing it happen to white people. Smoking that doobie, that's legal probably in your state, but they don't know what it is. And the kid runs, and then pop, 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 he said, referring to gunfire. He suggested that if the victim was white, the attitude would be different. Okay, I'm not going to say that certain biases or even prejudice or racism doesn't exist. You guys know I've never said that, I never will. Okay, but what I will say is that Chris Cuomo and everybody out there who's towing this line, the real problem is the media, okay? Because I got two words for you, two names. Tony Timpa. Look it up. Tony Timpa. This man also died in police custody, claiming that he couldn't breathe while the police laughed and made jokes as he died. He died. Police didn't go to jail for it. And his mom is heartbroken about this ever since. Tony Timpa is a white man. Okay, you might not have heard about this story. Chris Cuomo, I wonder if you reported on this story. The point being that the media, above all else, is to blame for the racial attitudes in this country. If not all of the blame, certainly a large percentage of the blame. Because you guys sensationalize all of it. You get rich off this stuff. You love to lead with another racial shooting. You love to lead with there's going to be a riot and stuff like that. I remember they had Anderson Cooper out there in Ferguson. Dude looks so giddy talking about the curfew is coming and who knows what's going to happen with all of the rioting. You guys, you got plenty of camera rolling. Okay, you got a charge on that camera. We don't want to miss anything. None of the carnage. That's what you do. You profit off this. And the reason why you don't blow up the whole white thing is because you can't spin that in a racial way to make it outrageous. You're more likely to report on a white guy being shot by a white cop as a criminal being shot by a white cop. You don't even put the racial aspect in there because you know it's not going to sell. You know it's not going to make your advertisers happy. It's not going to cause outrage and all that stuff. There's no money in it. Of course there's not. But with the black shootings, you disregard if the guy had any type of a criminal record. Not to say that he would have deserved it, but it happened, okay? And that is actually part of the story. So when you put those little innocent elementary school photos, you know, from when they were like 5 years old and stuff, and they're looking all cute, but you leave out their mugshot, this is a fact. You do this. You know what you're doing. So that's what you do. You know, it's like you stoke and you fan those flames and you want the sensationalism. And then you got the nerve to get on TV talking about it's not going to end until white kids start getting killed. What kind of message is that to send out there? You guys, you got to see what's going on here. You know what I mean? And I can point it out because I understand that these people are evil. I told you before, it's not racism, it's evil. That's what it boils down to. So I know that the pendulum will swing back once again to black people. You think these people are on your side. They're not. And I'm talking about black people right now. You know what I mean? It won't make a difference. You know, they want to talk about, you know, white people being indifferent to black pain and suffering. That's the way he's trying to sell this thing. You know, white people will only care about this when they see other white people getting killed. What kind of cynical, mean-spirited view of the world is this? And you put that out there on the largest news platform in the whole world, or one of them, so everyone can digest this venom and this poison. That's what we think of humanity. We only care about it when it happens to people like us. You know, never mind the fact that you see protesters out there. You got people on the front line who go across all racial and cultural lines who are fighting for this type of thing against injustice. You know, but of course we wouldn't know that because CNN does not present that. All they want is everything right down the middle and everybody mad at each other and everybody fighting. Why? Because we make money off of it. That's what it is. So you put that on your news. You put that in your comics, you put that in your TV shows, in your movies, and you want everyone to buy into this, you know? But that's the reason why you hate YouTubers. That's the reason why you go to war, you know, on people like my friend Drunk 3PO. Welcome to the rebellion. The rebellion against what? Against cancel culture, against lies, against falsehoods. So of course, you have to stop him. You have to stop that message, even if it's just on a t-shirt. That's the reason why they go to war with people like Gina Carano, and anybody else who has a free thinking brain. That's the reason why this is not going to last long. All of this YouTube stuff, all of this free thinking, free speech stuff, that's the reason why you have to speak while you still have a chance. Even if it's just the way that you think. You have to challenge these things, guys. That's the reason why I put these stories out there so you can see it. Like I said before, I hate to do it. I hate that it's like this. But if we don't do it, our children will be conditioned. You know what I mean? They won't stand a chance on how to think when people come for them, and they come for their ability to be able to say how they feel and to practice whatever they want to practice in their own homes and love who they want to love. God forbid, you know what I mean? It's just what it is, guys. So there it is. Okay, that's my opinion on it. That's my take on it. All right, what do you think? Do you think that there's some degree of truth to what Chris Cuomo is saying? All right, joke that he is. That the only way that white people are going to care about police brutality and issues like that is when it starts happening to white people. I dare say that human beings will start caring more when it's an issue of justice and not media manipulation. When everyone can actually see what the issue is, and that the victims of these things are just like us, law-abiding citizens, people. And the ones who do wrong get punished, whether it's on one side of that issue or the other, whether it's a criminal or whether it's a crooked cop. Justice is justice. I don't defend crooked cops. I don't defend criminals. I just want the truth. All right? That's all I'm talking about. But what do you guys think? You can get in the comment section and let me know. As always, you can like, you can share, you can subscribe. You can catch me on Twitter. I'll see you there, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you for listening, guys. This is The Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on.